Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite the video and quite the account available for us today. This is actually the account of one of my moderators on Twitch who spends a lot of money on this game. And they've prepared a Chisa for me. A Chisa who is not only quite well built, this is in combat with Shorekeeper, by the way. A Chisa who's not only quite well built, but also quite well invested, because it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually got 6 sequence nodes ready to activate for this unit, and what I wanted to see was actually what this unit's main DPS potential was, how her performance shifts as she gets more sequence nodes. Because one thing you know for certain is that, yes, her S1 and her S2, they kind of do buff her team abilities even more, but her S3 is where you start seeing her personal damage really start to ramp up. Things like damage multipliers increase by 120%, and then as you see more and more and more of her sequence nodes, right, she gets more damage bonuses over here, 100% on her liberation, and then boom, way more damage that the enemies are taking from her, 40% increased damage, and actually immunity to knockouts, immunity to death for a short minute or two after she grabs this one. So yeah, we're gonna be checking her progression across, well, S0 R1 as a main DPS, then S3, then S6, and then we've got a bit of a bonus over here. Not only do we have the character S6, we're also going to have the weapon R5. And I think we'll save this one for last after we've tested out the S6 R1. And then just see how the S6 R5 does. So yeah, there's a couple of very interesting mechanics when it comes to actually playing Chisa as a main DPS. They don't shine that much at S0, but they'll probably shine a lot more once we get to S3 and beyond. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the team that she's going to be working in. So this is a whale account, right? Understood. And a whale account probably implies that it's going to have a lot of resources on it. And this Shorekeeper is going to be S6. I know that might upset some people, but let's factor in that this Chisa is going to have 40% additional attack. And then she's also going to have an R5 weapon. So that's going to be 28% additional attack over here. So 68% total coming from one character. Then you got Rejuvenating Glow and all of that other stuff. We're sitting at like 80 something. That's on top of her crit buffs. So that's what Shorekeeper's bringing to the table. And then we're also going to be pairing her up with a John Shin. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she will be on Marcato to increase her rotation time. And as you probably guessed, this John Shin is S6 as well, so we might be able to get a shorter rotation too. But she's not really providing any additional buffs, and we're not using her at all for damage because this is what her investment is looking like. So yeah, with that in mind, that's the team that we're going to be using Chisa on. And we'll also do a couple of tests here and there. Maybe at S3, we'll see how she performs in maybe one of the Aero Erosion teams. And then at S6, right, that also increases her buffing ability. We might take that into holograms as well. But first and foremost, because people have already seen her played as a support, let's see how she does as an S0 R1 DPS with an S6 R5 Shorekeeper. And we're just going to be in the TOA floor 1 in the hazard zone. So we're going to be going against just the Lampy Lumen Myriad. So let's go ahead, let's get this one underway, and see what she's cooking at S0 R1.
Low astral modulation.
Okay.
Evils be gone.
All right, we get Josh's short rotation, and let's go.
Dismantle. A pivotal moment. This ends here. Flicker into form.
Okay.
A miscalculation.
As you can see over there, Josh's outro skill ran out because I got frozen. The goal is to consume all of her forte, because when you're playing her as a support, you'll end up doing her final attack when you still have like 3/4, 1/2 of your forte left. So you actually have to manually do either a dodge cancel or not go into your second basic attack right after entering chainsaw form. So you might see a couple of odd rotations, just trying to get that figured out on my end. But don't worry, we've gotten the hang of it in a couple of practice runs already. But we just gotta watch out for getting frozen by this asshole.
Banish all vice. Serenity. Like this? Blink.
All right, nice parry.
Eye of unravel. Nothingness. Deconstructed.
All right, now I'm gonna enter chainsaw mode, then use her echo. Oh, wait, we didn't enter chainsaw mode. Whoopsies.
Before the thread snap. Connection severed.
Ooh, okay. That rotation over there, we didn't do enough attack chains. We dodge countered and then unfortunately went into her finisher before we wanted to. So hopefully you're seeing over here that even at S0, her main DPS playstyle is a little bit confusing. Because she does have a lot of those advancements in her kit that will have you just kind of like, well, obliterating your entire forte when you might not actually want to.
Stay over. Lifeline plucked. Come, meet your end. Dismantle. Excise. In a flicker into form.
All right, here we go.
Structural
And that is more so what we're looking for.
Ordained.
So you can see over here, that first rotation, wow, it looks like it might have done a decent amount of damage. Do keep in mind that all this damage that you saw in that rotation, guys. Well, it's because the Shorekeeper's S6. And she also has an R5 weapon.
Flicker into form.
There, that looks like a better rotation overall.
From the heart.
So you can see we consumed our entire Forte circuit over there. But the damage should actually be a lot less if we're not using her with an S6 R5 character. But as you can see over here, we should get a decent clear time. Even with this guy having one of the most annoying movesets in the game. But we are doing with the help, right, of two S6 characters. So do keep that in mind.
This ends here. Break apart.
Oh, that's a cinematic finish. But yeah, that's what you can see. S0R1 levels of damage. But do keep in mind, we're getting a shit ton of buffs from the Shorekeeper. And she's coming in and nuking for like 190k when she's doing her enhanced intro. So that's just something to keep in mind over there. As you saw, we were still experimenting around with some of the rotations, but we seem to have found something that fits. You kind of just go ahead, you enter chainsaw mode, then you echo skill to basically cancel your animation, and then you just do a 1, 2, 3, dodge cancel, then do another 1, 2, 3, and then you'll do your ending attack. So her actual rotation does seem to fit very comfortably within Johnson's outro skill, which is a liberation damage buff, right, for 14 seconds. So that's just something that works out very, very, very well, and the timing doesn't seem to be that crazy. You could also consider using her with like a Yinlin too, but Yinlin only has like 25% liberation damage amp, and so since we have an S6 Johnson over here, that's what we're going to be doing. So that's what the character looked like at S0R1. Now it's time for us to, well, do a little bit of additional investment and see how she performs at S3. So let's get this first one over here. This is going to just give Chisa some interruption immunity during chainsaw mode, which is going to be great when playing her as a main DPS. And she's going to get 30% more attack. So as you can see over here, that's going to be pretty good for her damage. So we got that main one, right? That we don't need to do any additional testing with her. It'll just be a bit faster and we'll have more room to make errors. Now her second one. This one's going to be pretty big. She's going to ignore 10% of the enemy's Havoc resistance when dealing her own damage, so more of a personal damage buff. And then, Resonaires with Threat of Bane will gain a 50% all-attribute damage bonus. And guess what, guys? Chisa has Threat of Bane. So yeah, a lot more damage buffs over here, even more. And her S3, this is the one that we're mainly going to be testing. It's going to make the damage multipliers of her chainsaw mode, they're going to be increased by 120%. And that's actually going to stack with her own personal buff, which increases the damage multipliers by 120% as well. So as you can see over here, a shit ton of damage multipliers, and she's also gonna do more vibration strength damage. So break the enemies faster. That's the main DPS sequence node. This is the one that's supposed to greatly alter her gameplay and greatly alter her damage potential. So she's now gonna be S3R1. Let's take that same exact team and see how it does. Alrighty.
Stay calm. Astral modulation. Banish all vice. Surrender like this.
All right, perfect.
Pieces. Come. Meet your end.
Let's do it. Come on, Chisa.
Flicker into form. Break apart.
That's pretty solid. It seems to have done over 50% of its HP, but do recall, once again, that was with some big buffs from Shorekeeper. But it seems that her personal damage has, well, gone up.
Dead center blocked. Come.
Seems to have gone up.
To pieces. Structural collapse. Flicker into form.
Okay, our liberation damage buffs ran out over there because we were dealing with that guy's annoying animations. But as you can see, that first one, it was a bit of a slam. It was a little bit crazy. Try it without SK. You know, honestly, we could. We could try it out without Shorekeeper's massive buffs. What if we just slotted in a Verena? I know this isn't going to be as nice because of the crit and everything, but okay, surely we can give her a buff. We can. I'm administratively just going to level this up so she gets more ER. What are we doing here? Why is this? Come on, man. It's a variation, bro. Wait. Oh yeah, no, it is variation. I was like, wait, why is it the fish weapon? It is variation. He just put the skin on it. Oh my god, that really threw me off. Yeah, I want her to have a little bit more ER. I like my Verenas having like 230. So yeah, let's try it out with the Verena now, and let's just see. Okay, is this all that? Is this all that? And let's give it a bit of a go. We're not gonna have 68% attack from Shorekeeper this time. This is gonna be all Chisa. Let's see how she does, man. Okay, that's a lot of... That's... Okay, this Verena is definitely high sequence node, though.
So like this. To peak stress points. Come.
All right, here we go.
Meet your end. Good. Down to the structural collapse. Flicker into form. Break apart. Banish all vice.
Hey, that still looks pretty good to me, and I don't even think I used Verena's. I don't even think I used her Echo skill either.
Evils be gone. Surrender like this.
Hey, this rotation doesn't feel half bad either.
Deconstructed.
Wait, this rotation don't even feel half bad.
Flicker into form. Cutting through the numbers. Banish all vice. Fruit of ask in the sunlight.
Miss the crit? Hey, that'll happen, right?
Gone. Like this. Lifeline blocked. Dead center blocked.
Okay, yeah, I'm like out of energy here for some reason. Oh, maybe I was supposed to do a John Shin attack. Anyways, it appears I have an ER issue somewhere. Probably because I did one of the shortest John Shin rotations on the planet. Alright. But yeah, I mean, she seems to perform as an above average DPS. Like, very, very much above average DPS at S3. Do keep in mind that, yes, we are using John Shin at S6, but John Shin might still be one of the worst sub DPSs in the game. And we're getting no damage at all from anybody else on the team. Let's keep in mind that this is basically Chisa solo damage with all the buffs from her teammates, because these two are doing nothing. They're essentially just cheerleaders that are amplifying Chisa's stats. Other than that, they're basically doing nothing else because their personal damage is literally non-existent, and we don't even have like a Shorekeeper discernment to come in and help out from the team damage side. So that's what Chisa's looking like at S3. Try her solo. Well, I mean, she does heal herself, so I guess sure, but yeah. I'm pretty sure she'd be able to solo. I think that is entirely possible for her.
Flicker into form. Come.
I think that is entirely possible for her, yeah.
Structural integrity intact. Carry on.
Okay, well, maybe not if I get my ass frozen.
Structural collapse. Cutting through the numbers.
Okay, I need to actually remember what the fuck I'm doing on this character.
To pieces. Nothingness. Deconstructed. Structural integrity intact. Carry on. Flicker into form. Break apart.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. I dodged. You saw me dodge, and then it immediately made me do the big slam. That was, that's a little frustrating. I wanted to do another basic attack.
Eye of unraveling. A pivotal.
So yeah, like, she's still got, like, a little bit of clunk. You'll end up sometimes, like, just using shit that you don't want to use. Which I think is, like, a little bit awkward. But it is what it is. Like over here, right? You can clearly see I'm doing I'm doing what I actually want to do. The cool thing, though, is that when she's solo, her chainsaw mode has, well, as you can see over here, right? It's got no cooldown.
Center locked. Excise in a flicker into form. The cut's not cutting through.
Okay, all right. Well, that forced me. I essentially got forced into using it over there.
Stress points mapped.
Man, I wish there was some way to, like, make that feel less clunky.
Structural integrity intact. Carry on. Connection 7.
But yeah, I mean, she has great performance solo-wise.
Click. Down to the micron. Structural collapse. Cutting through the numbers. Dismantle. A pivot.
Yeah, I mean.
Moment.
Yeah, I mean.
Flicker into form. Break apart.
Hey, I mean, it's good.
To pieces. Excise in a breath. This ends here. Connection 7.
Hopefully this finishes him. Oh, it didn't. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, okay, I really thought that was going to. Anyways, easy to solo with because she heals herself every single time she does one of those snips and every single time she uses her liberation. Also grants a fat fucking shield after her nuke, and it actually does nuke now after S3. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, she's actually a very good solo character because, yeah, she self-sustains herself in a lot of ways. Very similar to Brant, actually. So, yeah, that's her S3 performance. And so, I do want to record her now with a, you know, just at S2. Essentially at S2, but playing her with, let's just say, like, an erosion team. Yeah, let's do a run over here with, well, this team. And when we take a look at the investment on the Aero Erosion team, the Chikota's only going to be at S2, but she will have her R5 weapon. So we are buffing damage as much as possible for Kartithia. Kartithia, on the other hand, she is going to be S6, but the build is a little bit mid. It is what it is, but they will be R5, so I'm pretty sure they'll make up for it somewhere. So we're going to be testing Chisa with her S2 primarily. I know she's at S3 right now, but it's not going to be as important because we want that 50% all attribute damage buff. So what does that do with an S2 Chikota, S2 R5 Chikota, and an S6 R5 Kartithia? We should probably go into a hologram or something, shouldn't we? Let's just see what it looks like in the TOA. Yeah, let's just see what it looks like in the TOA for fun.
Flicker, come. Meet your end. Clutch structural integrity intact. Carry on. Cutting through text for watching. Numbers. Seeing is believing. Listen.
Uh-oh, that was a little bit awkward with the Kelpie, but I think that's fine.
Perish. Such is that blessing. Heavens, descend. Fall. Repent.
Okay, well, yeah, this guy got cooked.
Tide, rise and crash.
The small form was doing more damage. Yeah, small Cartithia was doing more damage. But, yeah, bro got fucking destroyed. Bro got absolutely annihilated. Okay, let's maybe go take that into a hologram real fast, because that was a joke. Yeah, that was comical. Yeah, how about we try this out in, yeah, let's test this out against the False Sovereign. I haven't actually fought this guy yet. Maybe we don't do that if I haven't fought. Hey, I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We don't... The point of pulling our S6 characters is so that we don't have to see his mechanics, right? That's why we were doing it. And with everything at, like...
Structural collapse. There's still time. Thanks for watching. For the threat
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, bro has hands. Wait, did he just blow me up through, like, all the shields? What the fuck? Wait, I don't even know he had that in his... I guess he's got a one-shot move at the beginning.
A pivotal moment.
The boss has a resistance to liberation damage. Oh! Okay, well, we gotta watch out for that move. I didn't know he did that. He got hands.
There's still time before the threads snap. Flicker into form. Collapse.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, the pitch is lowered.
You know what? We just need the buffs on people. We just need the buffs on people. It doesn't matter, right?
Such is that risk. Heavens, descend.
Nah, he's cooked. He's cooked. He's cooked.
Bow before me. Sentence before. Sounding the death knell. Exonerate. Furious
Boom!
tides. Split the heavens.
Okay, that did 1 point... If that all those crit, that would have done like 1.2 million damage, right? Yeah, that was pretty massive. Okay, well, clearly he's done it faster than me, so I'm just gonna stop embarrassing myself. Let's go back to the TOA. Anyways, yeah, that was just a little segue so you can see how she performs in negative status teams. And as you can see, she absolutely cooked everything just with S3 R1 Chisa, and we made sure not to actually use Chisa's damaging part of her kit for that hologram run, just so you can see how much the buffing is having an impact. But with that out of the way, we've completed our S3 R1 testing for this unit. Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take her to S6. Let's unlock her full potential. And let's talk a little bit about each upgrade along the way. So her S4, it's just going to increase her Havoc Bane application. It's not really a real sequence node. A lot of characters, S4 and S5s, they like are very minor bonuses that honestly could not even be in the kit. That's usually the S4 and nothing would really change. Yudo gets like a 100 HP shield for all of her teammates. Brett gets like 10% damage. It's stuff like that. Her fifth node, on the other hand, it will give her Liberation a 100% damage bonus. It's not the same as a multiplier increase. It'll be less than that, but it's still nice to have. It's like having 100% Liberation damage bonus for that one attack. And now her S6. When Chisa takes a fatal blow during Chainsaw mode, she actually survives with 1 HP, which is actually good because she shields herself and heals herself, so she can actually, like, sustain afterwards. It's kind of like Casterus' passive when you think about it. And then Unseen Snare, her mark gets a bonus. Essentially, every single marked target takes 30% more damage from negative statuses, and they'll take 40% more from Chisa. Not a lot of upgrades from S3 to S6, but we'll see just how much this 40% additional damage really does. Let's test it out. It's also going to greatly amplify her ability to support negative status teams, and it might actually make her team with Zani really, really, really good. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll make sure to test it out with Cartithia and with Zani too, because that might be something that actually is more up her alley, but maybe not. So that's the setup that we did before. Let's just see how she looks with Verena. Then we'll see how she looks with S6 R5 Shorekeeper. I am hoping that this unit kind of like blows my socks off now because we went to S6, but we'll just have to see, man.
Dead center locked. Well, life is in everything.
Evils be gone.
Like this? Lifeline.
All right, here we go.
Come. Meet your end. Push. Down to the tether snap. Flicker into form.
Perfect. Oh, there we go. That's huge. Oh, that's huge.
Evils be gone. Like this.
A pivotal moment. This ends here.
I canceled my ending attack. No. Anyways, that would have one-shot him. I canceled my attack like a bozo, but that would have one-shot him. Here we go. Let's get it over here. Boom. That would have been a 2 rotation clear. However, that doesn't look that great, but we are using 2 standard units. What if we go ahead now and well, bring in the Shorekeeper into the mix? Yeah, let's get that 68% attack buff back and all that crit. Let's get all of that shit back.
Astral modulation.
Evils be gone.
Like this. Blink. Flicker into a pivotal moment.
Here we go. Boom.
Excised in a breath. This ends here.
I messed it up. I messed it up. I accidentally chained forward into her attack. It's... Oh, man. I wish there was, like, a different way to actually trigger it. I kind of don't like how automated it is.
Evils be gone.
I wish you, like, had to use, like, a heavy attack and it felt more intentional. Because right now it sometimes feels like you're like, using it on accident.
Meet your end. Structural collapse.
There we go.
Connection severed.
Oh, wow. That is almost one-shotting this guy. And honestly, if I hit a couple more attacks, maybe.
Banish all vice. Like this. Lifeline blocked. To pieces. A pivotal moment.
Yeah, he got circumcised. Yeah, that one circumcised him. Holy shit. Yeah, he died from the snip. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's S6R1. So I think that one is going absolutely nuts. It's blowing shit up. Now, what we need to see is how strong is this character now as a support with S6R1. So let's go back to the holograms. Let's go see with S6, with the enemies taking even more amplified negative status damage. How strong is she going to be? Or really, how strong of a support is she going to be? We saw her DPS potential, but her S6 also has that supporting potential, which is a nice little bonus about the character when you do think about it. It's kind of a nice bonus that she's able to still retain and improve her supporting ability when she's S6 versus other characters, right? Like a Chu Yan, who are primarily just a DPS. Some people prefer it one way or the other, but Chisa can kind of do both. All right, now let's go ahead. Let's go back to this, false... Wow, we're going to be fighting him for the 4th time in 120 days. Let's go ahead and get this guy going.
Structural collapse. There's still time. Before come.
All right, we just got to make sure to get this dodge right. It's a little bit scary.
There's no way.
Bro, at least the fight starts off with the one-shot move, right? At least the fight starts off with the one-shot move.
I have been flicker into form. There's still time. Thanks for watching.
There we go. All right, we got out, boys. We got out. All right, Kartithia, you can do it.
I won't back down. Repent.
Dude, her plunges do so much damage.
Beckons. Tides, rise and crash.
Oh, he's cooked. Oh, he's so dead. Yeah, that's another 400k tick. Aren't there like 7 of those? Yeah. Aren't there like 7 of those? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, she beat his ass. Hey, we were 1 second faster this time. So, we beat his ass doing that. What if, though, we end up using a Spectro Frazal team? Oh, he got the Zani skin. What the fuck? Why'd you get this? This shit is ugly as... anyways,
Today will be a fine day.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's use this team. God damn, I don't even want to play this team anymore. I'm glad you're supporting the game. Anyways, let's do this.
Flicker into Sentinel protect me. Answer me, crystals.
Boom, let's get those negative status stacks, brother.
Power of the Sentinel.
Shut. All yours. I don't have all day. My shield can withstand more than that. Come at me.
Okay, well, we beat his ass too there. So, yeah, this guy, he's just getting his ass beat by every team. But then again, this is a full S6 R5 team, so I hope we're beating his ass. So, yeah. Maybe with every single character on the account, S6, it kind of lessens the impact of seeing everything in action. But there you go. All right. Enough beating around the bush. It's time to do our final set of testing over here. We've S6'd the character. We've seen what she does as a main DPS in a bunch of these teams. Now we got an R5'er. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple copies of Kubo Kiri that we need to start consuming. So let's start doing that. So, what this is going to do is it's going to improve the liberation damage bonus that Chisa's getting, but do keep in mind it's only 6% per stack because it's 3 stacks and it's a 2% increase. But it's also going to greatly improve her ability to support some of the teams as well, because she's going to be giving, you can see over here, 48% all attribute damage bonus to anyone that inflicts negative statuses. However, Zani can't fucking use this thing. So, the upgrades that we're doing over here will kind of only be to Chisa's personal damage in the Zani teams, because Helical Embers is not a negative status. However, this will work fully in the Kartithia teams. So don't worry, guys. We can clear even faster than 31 seconds. We can go even faster than that. Something to keep in mind. But before we do any more hologram shenanigans, guys, we've got to see. Chisa, Shorekeeper, can we rotate that stupid Glacio asshole? Can we rotate this dickhead? I think it's going to be possible now. Now that we got all the juice, I think it's going to be entirely possible. Let's see. Doubt? I believe in myself. I believe in this Chisa's investment. This is a $3,000 team, brother. I believe he can do it.
Lion graft you knew.
Evils be gone.
This?
Let's go, bucko.
A pivotal.
Come on, buddy.
Moment.
What you got, huh?
Flicker into form. Cutting through the numbers.
The outro buff ran out right before that final hit. I saw it run out right before it hit. It would have, I think that would have one-shot him.
Diminish. In war with time.
I think it would have one-shot him.
Banish all vice. Like this. Lifeline plucked. Come.
Wait, get over here. Get over here.
Let's converge. This ends here. Connection severed. Vow from the soul.
I didn't hit the ult. I didn't hit the ult there. But we're getting closer and closer each time.
Astral modulation.
Bro, I don't even know how he got so far away from me.
Be gone.
Like, honestly, that should be studied. How that guy managed to get so fucking far from me.
Nothingness.
It should be studied. That was impressive.
Excise. In a breath. Tether snap. Structural collapse.
Oh! Did somebody say there's some mechanics where you hold down the attack? I don't know. Does that take, like, too much time? I'll also be honest in saying that I didn't, like, go ahead and, like, study Chisa DPS rotations the other night or something, or some shit like that. No, I didn't. What I seem to be using, though, is, it seems to be working all right.
Pivotal moment. This ends here. Break apart.
That did not crit, did it?
Ordained.
All right. That's close enough. Maybe that did crit. Okay, so it's not enough juice to necessarily one-shot the guy, but he's very, very, very low HP after one rotation. And if we simply had a sub-DPS that was maybe better or actually did damage, he'd probably get one rotated. But this Johnshin is, again, this is like a two-person team at this point. Johnshin's a walking buff. So there you go. S6 R5 damage, pretty solid, pretty consistent. Yeah, I mean, I think she's serviceable as a DPS, but I think it's more so the fact that her power is split amongst her buffing ability as well as her DPS ability, so she kind of isn't as strong of a DPS, I would say, at S6 compared to some of the other units. Now, let's go for our final set of testing, and that's just going to be looking at that one negative status team, the Chikona and Kartithia team, and seeing how it does now with R5. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go against our favorite friend, the False Sovereign, and let's go cook him once again. Just hold fully in chainsaw mode? Oh, okay. Well, I won't have to worry about that one now. All right, let's do this.
Eye of unraveling.
All right, maybe we'll just test it out over here to see how it looks.
There's still time before the thread's out. Connection severed.
Hey, we used her death immunity right there, boys. Hey, we used her death immunity right there. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Such true form.
Revealed at last. Tide, rise and crash. Till the denouement.
I can't even tell. Well, hey, we didn't need to use our ult and he died this time. I guess that's the difference. We didn't need to use our ult and he just died from a regular combo. But the crazy part is like the ult is like the most damaging part of S6 R5 Kartithia's kit. So we actually just, with S6 R5 Chisa and her ability to buff damage and the buffing ability on Kumokiri, I guess we don't even need to use half of our S6 R5 character's kit. Yeah, we only need a portion of her damage to...
Furious tides.
Yeah, we didn't even use this. We didn't even use this. So, yeah, guy got cooked. Hey, maybe they do... Maybe they need to have a mode where the bosses have more HP, because this is actually pay to lose. I'm going to be honest with you. At that point, we are at pay to lose territory in that sort of situation. Go against Fleur de Lis. That's actually fair. Yeah, maybe going against her would be a good idea.
Dead center. A pivotal.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we might want to actually, like, use Chisa's attacks here.
Structural collapse. There's still time before the thread's out. Cutting through the numbers. Thanks for watching. Ta-da! A grand overture. Wonders and tragedies go together.
Oh, I didn't mean to use that.
The trio of destiny.
Collapse. The trial isn't over yet.
Oh, shit. I forgot about her swords. Oh, I forgot what this hologram is. I forgot that she summons shit on the ground.
Come.
It's been so long.
Meet your end. To pieces. Click. Down to the micron. It hurts.
All right, she got death immunity. It's fine.
Thanks for watching.
So this is who she's made for.
Presenting a poem
You just want to
of
literally hold down the left mouse button and go into holograms.
Trial isn't over yet.
Because you can just do that.
revealed at last. Tide, rise
crash.
Atonement.
Windstorm.
Trying to use this ability!
Sweep all away. Lifeline block.
The purge has
Flicker into
come.
form. There's
No!
no way back. Ta-da!
Well, let's be honest over here. This almost one-shot fleur-de-lis.
Claim the lost.
Like, let's think about the optics of that for a second. This actually almost one-shot fleur-de-lis.
Shall not be shattered. Purge the impure. Clean.
The purge
No!
has come.
Okay, there we go. That's kind of wild when you think about it. It almost one-rotated fleur-de-lis. Like, she had just a little bit of HP remaining. That doesn't seem right. But, hey, again, I'm saying this might be a little bit pay to lose because now you can only fight arrow... You can now only fight arrow enemies. Yeah, you can't fight... Well, there's a lot of arrow enemies, though, for you to fight. You got her, you got him, you got her... Well, I guess it's just them. But yeah, this is like your selection, and maybe the gorilla too. But you will one-rotate the gorilla, so maybe not. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that seems to be the only thing that's left over here. Because goddamn, you are killing every other hologram boss without even using your ultimate at this point. So yeah, that's how strong that team is.
The power
Overall, I guess when it comes to rating S6 R5 Chisa, definitely you can see that the main DPS potential is there. But I'm not going to go ahead and say that her S6 R5 performance is close to the level of other S6 R5 characters. I think that's pretty clear to see. Her damage isn't necessarily there. However, what's also very clear is the fact that her main benefit from getting dupes is not necessarily her own personal damage, but actually a lot of her ability to buff her team. There's not a lot of signatures in the game that can give stats to other people on your team. She actually gets this 48% all attribute damage bonus. She gets it for herself. But the thing is that she can share that with whole teammates. And when you consider the fact that, well, this is a really strong buff at R5. It's the same as an R1 weapon. You can see over here, he's got an R5 Carlotta weapon. It's 96%. At R1, this is 48. And Chisa's basically giving the equivalent of that to every single damage type for every single attribute if you do negative status damage. Combine that with the fact that she's then going to amplify negative status damage by 30%. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, she ends up being a supportive powerhouse, but also a bit of a DPS powerhouse as well. But not at the level of other S6R5, pure, like, dedicated DPS sort of characters. She is, however, also a very, very strong solo unit. So if that is something that you like doing, kind of like, you know, pretending that you're her going out, you know, doing like solo runs and then, you know, chopping up a bunch of TDs. Well, she feels great starting from S3 doing that because her personal damage kind of spikes a lot and she has a lot of built-in sustain. Do you need this shit though? Absolutely not. I'm always a proponent of just being an individual that doesn't get a lot of sequence nodes myself. And I will say that there's pretty much no point in even trying to use this character as a DPS if you're going to be at S0. Because golly OG, is it like night and day seeing just the actual damage potential she has on this account versus the one that's on mine. And let's just say there's a gigantic ocean between the two. It looks like Moses actually parted that sea. So yeah, that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be our walkthrough of Chisa from S0 to S6 across, well, a wide variety of the teams that she's used in. And while I think that she is a unit that a lot of people will S6, I'm not going to go ahead and say that she's like the most exciting one ever. It's kind of just like, yeah, all of her stats go up, all of her buffing ability goes up, all of her damage goes up, but it's not like you particularly play that much differently other than, well, I guess I just discovered the new tech. You can just hold down the attack button to stay in chainsaw mode. And guess what? With her S1 giving her interruption resistance and her S6 giving her death resistance, you can just hold down the attack button at S6 and just do her entire rotation. And, like, you can't be interrupted, and you also can't die. So it's kind of like, I guess she has the one true brain-off rotation that only she gets access to at S6. yeah, she just gets a literal brain off rotation where you don't even dodge because you can't even die. So there's no point in even avoiding any damage at all. So, yeah, that's something that we did against the hologram boss, and it literally worked. So, hey, it is what it is. That's something you got to look forward to at S6. Literal brain rot combat. So, yeah, that'll be it for this one. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.